Hey everyone, Sweet Johnny Cage here. Welcome back to part 15 of the Elden Ring full playthrough walkthrough. I want to start this walkthrough off by just apologizing that I did not unmute my mic at the end of the last walkthrough, so I'll leave a comment on that one explaining what I was talking about at the end, but luckily it just happened at the final boss, and it's not a big deal. I spent most of the time just deciding what to do, so it's really not that big of a deal. I just hate that that happened, but these hour-long videos are just kind of impossible to edit at 4K HDR. They take days to render sometimes. But anyway, in this section of the walkthrough, since we have now completed the Abyssal Woods, we are going to come over here to the eastern side of Shadow Altus. We're going to go through Moorth Ruins and end up right here in Bonny Village. Now, Bonny Village, this is like a 5-minute thing. This is super quick to get here. But Bonny Village is pretty densely packed, and then it also has a dungeon within it. So that is basically going to be it for this video, is we're just going to do those two things, and then we'll kill the Furnace Golem, and then get here. And then that's going to be it. I'm going to leave this building for later. This building has a quest line in it that leads to a secret boss, but you can't complete that quest line until you're able to reach this area, which we cannot. So basically, we're going to do this eastern section, except for this building, and then we're going to get here, and then we're going to stop. So we're going to stop at the Cathedral, or the Church District of Shadow Keep. Okie doke. So I'll show you my stats. Currently level 204 with a level 13 Shadow Tree Blessing and a level 7 Revered Spirit Ash Blessing. We've collected 31 Shadow Tree Fragments out of 50 and 14 Revered Spirit Ash out of 25, I believe there are. Yeah. Cool. So let's go ahead and warp to Moorth Ruins, and then we'll get started. I've been trying to be better about the sound of me drinking water during these walkthroughs because folks have complained about it. And I understand it's not great, but I keep hitting the mute button and forgetting to unmute. Anyway, here in Moorth Ruins, we've been here before. We've collected most of what we need to collect. However, we can come down here, and then we're going to grab another item. So let's walk into this house. Just be careful. Back here is this guy. And then there's an item over here. Great. That is the Shattered Stone Talisman, which says Shattered Linchpin Stone raises potency of kicking and stomping skills. Linchpin stones are spiritual anchors said to hold the ground in place and quell the fury of earthquakes. When this one shattered, the surrounding town fell into the broken earth. One account claimed that the moon itself had come tumbling down. So, yeah, this thing shattered, and then the whole town blew up. Unclear what might have caused that, though. Okay, so now let's come over here. And then we're going to duck in here. And you can stay on Torrent this entire time. This does not count as an interior. What? Oh my god. Why do I keep missing? There we go. Alright. Go ahead and pillage this. Here, grab a string, and then we can continue on down. Very good. I don't think there's anything over here. Nope. Okay, ride through this cave. Then we're going to jump down here. We're on top of a church now. Okay, yeah, don't... Oh, what? How did that just happen? All I did was turn around. Oh my god. Okay. Try that again. Sorry about that. Sometimes Torrent just takes the wheel. It's like Jesus in yak form. Just assumes that it wants to do things. Anyway, come down here. I'm going to skip the dogs. Hopefully they don't follow us too deep. Come down here. Come over here. Grab our runes. Great. Now we're going to drop down here. Yeah, that's where we just came from. All right, there are some elders here. Kill them real fast. And then this chest is open, although what's interesting, excuse me, what's interesting is I'm not sure if this chest is always open or if something causes this chest to open, because I have seen it closed before. I'm pretty sure if I were to go back through my footage in the walkthrough, this chest would be closed, but it contains the Golden Arcs incantation, which is the attack that those elders use. Sorcery of the Inquisitors of the Tower, wielded as an incantation of the Spiral. A swing of the arm releases a procession of golden arcs. The arcs resemble barbs, a known symbol of coercive questioning. So it's basically a method of torture. Go ahead and call Torrent again. You can drop here and come through here. And then I don't believe there's anything major here. Nope. All right, we're going to go through this cave, and then we're going to get to, a really big ladder. I promise this ladder ends eventually. Okay. Welcome to Bonny Village. Bonny Village is a really messed up place. And we've known like the sort of story about the pots since we went to the Bellerot jail back in Graveside Plain very early on in the game, or in the DLC. So this is where jars are made. It's a village dedicated to that practice. It's not a nice practice, though. So we're going to find a lot of mean folks here. Let's actually go this way. It's also a densely packed area with a lot of items. There's also a few hefty cracked pots here, so you want to do your best to move through here deliberately. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're actually going to take a tiny bit of a shortcut, and we're going to jump this ravine here. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to pick up a really, really important item, which is actually an emote. So, on this corpse here is the Oh Mother emote. Now, Bonny Village is where shamans were tortured. And so that is one of the shamans praying to their mother. You'll notice that the head is cut off here. And that is a very important symbol. And Oh Mother is used to access this green area, which is called the Hinterland. So you need that emote in order to access that area, and I'll continue to tell the story of that emote in that area as we get through the game. All right, I'm going to get off Torrent now, and there is a Hefty Crack Pot as well as a Greater Potentate. We can start off with a backstab. You can see this is a horn scent. Not entirely clear if it's actually a horn scent or if he's just wearing the horn scent's headdress, but he goes down. So there are a lot of enemies in Bonny Village, and they're not very strong. Most of them die in one hit, aside from the Greater Potentates, but they can constantly cause problems by throwing stones at you, so you want to take the time to kill them. All right. This is a ravine here. We will jump into this ravine deliberately in a little while. For now, though, I want to keep exploring this side. So the time of day here can also be really tricky if you come here at night. Oh, my God. If you were to come here at night, you can run into some problems because it's just so dark here. I'm trying to kill this guy and not die at the same time. Okay, great. This place is so dark at night, and as you can see, like, all these enemies are covered in shadow. It's tough to deal with this place. They also jump around all the time. So just do your best to take care of them. Again, they die in one hit, so they're not that big of a deal, but you don't want them throwing rocks at you when you're trying to kill these potentates. It's just not a good time. All right, there will also be another side of the village that we need to explore. Trying to just do this in a neat fashion. All right. See what I mean? Like, I didn't even see this guy. You gotta wonder if this is like an auction block here. Okay. So let's come into the ravine here. Yep, there's gonna be dogs, but they're covered in shadow, so they're hard to see. More dogs over here. Okay, that went well. All right. And we get another Revered Spirit Ash back here. This will be number 15. So, this is part of the reason I like coming this way instead of going to Shadow Keep, or why I planned it this way. You just get so many upgrades, and the boss in the Specimen Storehouse at the back of Shadow Keep is quite difficult. And just having all of the upgrades there by the time you get there just kind of allows you to play on a more linear path towards the end of the game, which, I don't know, like, some folks don't like that, but I find it to be helpful to just sort of organize that way. All right, let's go ahead and cross the gap again. And now we're actually back on the side of Grace. And there's going to be another Potentate here. There's also this entire group. Okay. There's going to be another hefty crackpot. And then there's going to be a Potentate wandering around here. There's the side of Grace. All right. There he is. Oof. Okay. Very good. Barely even see these people. It's crazy. Right. Get the Bonny butchering knife, which has some lore on it. That is worth reading. All right. So the Bonny butchering knife, weapon of the greater potentates of Bonny village, an outsized butcher's cleaver used to dismember human bodies in the making of the great jars stored in the jails. Restores a very small amount of HP when it squarely strikes an enemy. So, there is the Bonny jail that weapon is talking about is just over this bridge. However, I am going to come back here in just a second. What I would like to do, though, is I would like to quickly light a Site of Grace on the other side of the bridge. This way we can just teleport to it when we're done with the dungeon. Come over here. And then this down here is where we just were before. This is the Recluse's River that leads to the Abyssal Woods. So if we come over here, this is the Whipping Shack. The Whipping Hut. And we get the Tooth Whip. Toothwhip says, whip bestrewn with rotting, misshapen teeth. Filthy and seething with disease, the teeth are embedded in the whip and dose the victim with a deadly poison upon each strike. As the wounds ripen, they grow inflamed and ooze pus. The flesh of shamans was said to meld harmoniously with others. So again, the shamans are being tortured, dismembered, and put into the jars. And that's why we get the Oh Mother emote, because they are praying to the shaman mother. And we actually know who the shaman mother is. But more on that in a little while. Actually, probably wouldn't be this video. It's definitely not going to be, but keep that in mind. It has to do with shamans. All right, so that is the site of grace I wanted to light. And now let's go to the jail. I just find it cleaner this way because clearing the Bonny village takes a little while, and I wouldn't want to have to like run through the village and possibly get knocked off torrent. Just checking over here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get knocked off torrent. Okay, cool. So the bridge is just near the site of grace. It's not far at all. So just turn here and go down this row. Very good. Okay, just checking here. Very good. All right, go over the bridge, and then it's time for Bonny Jail. Bonny Jail is not a nice place. It is another dungeon chock full of pots and disgusting pot things. There's also a bunch of scorpions over here. Unclear why there's scorpions here, if I'm being totally honest. Like, we're not near Scorpion River. We're near the Recluse's River, so it just seems a little odd that there'd be scorpions here. But in any event, take care of them. Where are you going? All right. I do appreciate that in the DLC, whenever you see these cages, there's always a cave nearby. Like, it's usually a jail, but I just like that it sort of indicates that something is near. That you should be looking for. I actually missed the Bellerot jail. I never went in there on my first character until the end. Like, I had no idea it was there. All right. So, this is the Bonny jail. Go ahead and equip your lamp, and then we can continue on down. All right, so this place is wild. And I've only been here once, but I don't believe this one has, like, any sort of hidden stuff, like secret passageways or anything, so we should be fine. Okay. All right, yeah, we'll get there eventually. Just always be on the lookout for the pot innards. Oh my god, I was just swinging to kill you. Dude, what is this grab range? Like, I know you're there. I'm swinging to kill. Alrighty. When you're ready, go ahead and jump down. And then, there will likely be rats, so go ahead and take out your beast repellent torch. Start making your way through. Mama Rat is never far behind. Oh, wow, a Rune Arc. That might be the first rat drop Rune Arc of this character. I don't think we ever found one when we were doing the walkthrough. This way is the exit. We're going to quickly turn around. Yeah, okay, let's just quickly turn around and go down the bottom half of this river of muck here. All right, watch out for the slimes on the ceiling. Okay, that broken rune was not worth the trip, but we try to get everything here. Let's go the other way first. We can go backwards. I believe they all lead to the same place, but I believe this way leads to that hole in the wall that we saw before. Guy's got the Radon helm on. Radon the god, literally. Oh, I was taking a drink. All good. Okay. All right, Stalwart Horn Charm 2. Increases robustness, governs resistance of blood loss and frost. Okay, so yeah, this is that hole in the wall that we saw before. And so we can't open this. No. Let's go back down. And then we will exit near that slime waterfall. Couldn't remember which method was the actual exit. Apologies for the back and forth. I think I mentioned this before, but when I made the walkthrough for the base game, I'd already gone through like twice or possibly 3 times. With this, I'm basically making it as soon as I finished it once. So while I do know the world very well, some of these dungeons still kind of confuse me. All right, let's drop through here. Gross. Oh. Thought I would die on that hit. Oh, wow, that was a delayed jump. Sure you can. He hit me with the target combo SRK, guys. Oh, did not see that guy. Cool. Alrighty. Couple more. Just double checking to make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay. Okie doke. Yeah, we'll get that later. For now, look for cracked jars. You don't want anybody getting the jump on you like that. Oh, hello. Curious to get a better look at their faces. I'm curious if there's any markings on these things that indicate that they're shaman. Anywho. Okay. Great. All right. Now it's time to have fun with elevators. This guy's feasting in his cell. Oh my god. Everywhere. They're everywhere. Right. You just saw a pot go down. It's an elevator. Don't be scared. Alright, so like I said, it's time to have fun with elevators. We're going to ride this one down, but then we're going to ride it back up. You'll notice that it's rising pretty quick, and that's because it's actually bringing us to a different level. And here is the night set. Bottomless black helm, cool to the touch, flowing lines in the seeming shape of a fingerprint adorn the surface, imprisons the wearer in utterly lightless dark, bestowed upon those born deep underground, ordaining them as sword hands of the night. So we will meet somebody who uses this armor set. Hold on, I'm just trying to get a look at them. There's chains, buckles around the leg. Aside from the hair going into the flesh, like, the hair doesn't look like anything special. I'm just trying to see if they had any real shaman markings or anything. All right, there's the Shield of the Night, which completes the set. A shield awarded to sword hands of night, cast in a bottomless black from which no light can escape. The outer surface is only semi-corporeal, providing reliable defense against attacks that are not physical in nature. And yeah, it has decent magic defense. Okay, so now we're going to ride this pot down. And then we're going to fall onto this platform. And then, yeah. And take this elevator back down. If you ever need to recall the elevator, you just stand on this medallion here, and it'll call it back. Same goes in all the other dungeons. Oh my good god. I was not expecting that to actually happen. Wow. Okay, great. Playing a little sloppy. Let's tighten this up. Okay, so these guys are walking towards the boss. Nothing in there. Alrighty. Cool. So that's the Bonny jail. It's time to fight the boss. I actually don't remember who the boss is. Hang on, let's check my guides. Curseblade Labirith. Okay, so this is just a Curseblade ascetic fight. The karate guys with the circs, the backhand blades, except this one can teleport in the dark. Yeah. Just pay attention to the audio cues. Yeah, not a hard boss. You've fought those things a million times at this point. If they ever disappear, just pay attention to the audio. You can hear from what direction they're coming in. All right, you get the Curseblade Meera ashes. Attacks immediately after being summoned, which is interesting. Curseblades appear to dance when they spin their shimmering circular blades. These ascetics, who failed to become tutelary deities, were a scourge for those who attempted to invade the Horn-Sent homeland. Long ago, before the land was overshadowed by invasion, this scourge was shunned and the Curseblades were imprisoned. It was during this confinement that Meera met Labirith, and upon her death, Labirith was plunged into a devastating darkness. Nice little lore as to why that guy can disappear. All right, let's return to the entrance. And then we can continue up the east side of Shadow Altus. So, like I said before, we activated the bridge leading to the village on purpose, so we could just teleport to it and not have to go through the village one more time. All right, what we're going to do is we are going to craft some hefty fire pots here. So craft as many as you can, because we have to kill a furnace golem using these pots in a couple minutes. Great. So once you're ready, start heading along this road. There's a lot of wolves in these woods here. So kill any that you like. That one just dropped 10k runes, which is cool. This crystal scarab disappears. So we want to be careful with it. Let's kill this wolf just so it doesn't distract us. Great. All right, this crystal scarab disappears. It doesn't go far, but it is kind of annoying to try to keep up with. So target it. There you go. All right, you get the Ash of War Raging Beast, which is step with the swiftness of a beast, leap high, and slash foe from above. Initial step can be taken forward, backward, left, or right. Strong attack allows for a follow-up attack. So this is used for beast claws. Alrighty, call Torrent. Let's get on the move. Like I said, lots and lots of wolves in these woods. I don't believe there's anything over here, but so let's get to double check. No. Just wolves staring at Jagged Peak. All right, so when we come through this clearing, the furnace golem is going to be just on the other side of it. So it's really important that you move to the left quickly. So there's the furnace golem, and then we're going to move to the left and up this spirit spring. So be careful of its attack. Ooh, I mean, that was actually decent timing, but went the wrong way. Okay, cool. Great. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to dodge some fireballs here. Just run them down. And that worked out. All right, go ahead and get your fire pots. Start chucking them in. Uh-oh. All right. This isn't good. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. All right. I think we stopped that cycle. Cool. All right. That's it. That's the Furnace Golem. If only they would all go down that quickly. I mean, I actually don't mind fighting those ones. It's just the regular ones that are so annoying. Anyway, get the Cerulean-Sapping Cracked tier, which restores FP upon landing attacks. And a Furnace Visage. Alrighty. Cool. So that is, believe it or not, the final... no, sorry, there's one more. There's one more of those. Yeah, unfortunate, but there is one more. Almost got excited. And the other one is a normal one. There is a way to kill it using pots, but you're not really meant to. There's a way to cheese a... The legs are made of sterner stuff. Try lighting a fire in their bellies instead. Oh, I never saw that hint before. That's cool. There's a spirit spring that you need to break rocks for. However, there is a way to do it using Mog or either Mogs or Margit's Shackle to break the rocks early. But we won't do that. I'll show you how you can, but we're not going to. Okay, so we have a puzzle tower here, but I want you to pay very close attention to how high this tower goes. You can see that it goes almost all the way to the top of that cliff. Now, that's really important because there's actually two ways to enter this tower, and you can see a balcony right at the top of it at the end of that cliff face. So we're going to solve the puzzle of this tower really quick. And so you can see a spirit spring here that is blocked by rocks, and then if you look closely, this spirit spring looks like it could push us onto that staircase. However, we got to find the rocks, and the way to do that is if you just come around here, you can see a balcony right here. So we know that there's a balcony here, and there's always a balcony in these towers. And so let's go inside and try to find the balcony. I guarantee you all those player hints say dog. All right, so the balcony should be like right here, but that's because this is an illusion, and then we can break this pile of rocks here. Hello? Okay. Oh my goodness, there we go. All right, so now that we've broken that, we can just jump on down and then take the spirit spring up. Perfect. All right, so we get Rabbath's cannon, which is a cannon that shoots great bolts. It's quite strong if you level it up. It's decent for magic strength builds. Does Torrent not activate elevators? Oh, wow. Imagine that. So now we can activate the elevator and go down manually. But if you notice, it's kind of hard to see. Okay. I'll go back up and show you this. So if you look carefully, you can see that the ceiling... Oh, is it not this ceiling? Is it a different ceiling? This ceiling is hollow. So you can see some... Like, it goes several layers up, and this is the only tower that's like that as far as I know. And so that basically indicates to you that, hey, there's probably a way to drop in here and get up there. And that is true, and the way you do that is via the hinterland right here. So you can actually drop into the tower by falling down these cliffs. And there's a very, very important NPC at the top who is able to be put into a spirit ash or a puppet and combine with another spirit ash. So it's really, really unique. All right, now that we've done that, let's move on. we have this fork in the road here. And if we were to go this way, we would find the Cathedral of Manus Metyr, which is an important place. And so we're going to go there. However, I'm just going to activate the Site of Grace. We're not actually going to go inside. And the reason for that is because the NPC there sends you on a very long quest around the world, but we can't actually complete that quest yet until we get to the hinterland. So there's really no point in even starting it. All right, so you can see that there's a lot of these marionettes here. Here's the Cathedral of Manus Metyr. So I'm just going to activate the Site of Grace and just leave. We'll do this all in another video, probably in like 2 or 3 parts in the future. We'll do this, but for now, let's just activate and leave, and then I believe there's a treasure around this corner. Okay. Alrighty. Very good. All right, let's really quick take a stroll around the grounds, because there are items over here, and I believe a cookbook. So don't worry about that graveyard. We'll talk about that graveyard when we actually do the quest. Going to be a lot of wolves around here, so just be careful. There is also a mausoleum for duplicating remembrances here. Oh, that's really interesting. That's so interesting. Okay, if you recall... Yeah, all right. So if you recall, near the Finger Ruins of Raya, down here on the Cerulean coast, there was another one of these beds for duplicating remembrances. And so... the fact that one is here is really interesting. We'll talk about it more when we do the quest, but I never actually thought about why that was there. Cool. Anyway, in case you want to duplicate remembrances, that's there for you. Give him a little Bo Jackson zigzag here. And we got a Starlight Shard satellite dish here. Tons and tons of wolves. Yeah, this is a cookbook right here. I'm just going to zoom and grab it. It's Greater Potentate's cookbook number 4. I believe this is for magic. Greater, or Hefty magic pots. Yep, Hefty magic pots. Great. Okay, so again, we will come back here at a later time to do this quest line. It's quite long. It's just a lot of running around. The actual steps to get it done are not that serious. It's just long. But it does end with a secret boss and a Spirit Ash summon and another secret boss, so it's just easier to do it all at once. All right, there is a Forager cookbook over here on this cliff. I marked the map a long time ago, but I want to come over here and grab this. This is the final Forager cookbook. This is the only one that you grab, or you can grab. Sorry, I said that wrong. This is the only one that requires Miquella's Great Rune to break before getting. And that's for the simple reason that you can't actually reach this area without the Great Rune breaking. I've seen it misreported many times that you can get them all before it breaks, but you can't. Okay, here he is. Right here. So I've had it marked for a while. Right up on this cliff. That is Forager Brewed Cookbook 6. It is the final Forager Brewed Cookbook out of 7. And you get the well-pickled turtleneck. All right, so there's some undead enemies out here. There's a graveyard over here with some more. guys remind me of Death Knights from Quake. I mean, everything reminds me of Quake, but yeah. Okay, very good. You can get your level 6 Grave Glovewort and a Spirit Grave Stone. Okay, so believe it or not, that's basically it for us for this section of the walkthrough. Let's get to our final destination, which is directly underneath us. Okay, and again, it's right here. It's this road leading northwest. We're going to get kicked off of Torrent at some point. What's weird is there's no blue barrier. It's going to be like right here, though. Yeah. Okay. This is Shadowkeep Church District. Shadowkeep Church District is the backside of Shadowkeep, and you'll notice it's flooded. So, flashbacks to New Londo Ruins. It's kind of the same vibe, but not as dark, lighting-wise at least. But that's going to do it for now. In the next section of the walkthrough, we will go through this place. We will fight a couple of mini-bosses, as well as... yeah, this place is actually kind of big. It has 2 Remembrance bosses here. I'm confident that we can do both in one video, because this place really isn't that long. It's just kind of densely packed, but I'm pretty confident we could do it all. So we'll actually do both Remembrance bosses last time, and believe it or not, that's going to send us here, and it's going to send us here. And we will also gain access to the hinterlands during this time as well. But we won't actually go into the hinterlands next time. We'll leave that for... yeah, okay, this actually flows kind of nicely what we're about to do. So, in the next section of the walkthrough, we will do Cathedral District, or Shadowkeep Church District. We will kill the Remembrance boss here. We'll kill the Remembrance boss here. And then that's going to be it for that section of the walkthrough. And then in the section after that, we will do the questline of the Cathedral of Manus Metyr, because that's what requires us to go to the hinterlands. There's a boss. There's actually 3 bosses in the hinterlands. They're somewhat quick. And then this will also send us back down here to the Finger Ruins of Raya. And then there are a few bosses to fight in this section as well. So, yeah, lots of boss fights coming up, and it'll be a good time. All right, but that's it. Let me give a shout out to my channel members. Thank you very much to John Aldridge with 50 months, Silver Bullet 13 with 37 months, Daniel Cockerill with 32 months, Brian Brubaker with 27 months, Bagdat Money with 23 months, Greg with 21 months, X Lightning 84 with 16 months, Harv Fontany with 13 months, Jason Knaps with 3 months, and Working Class Nerds with 1 month. Thank you very much to my channel members. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to join my community Discord. The link for that is in the description below. As always, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.